Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another cast from our partners in China. It's another Woniu cast, yes. This time it's going to be EffOrt versus Bisu. A bunch of you guys have been asking me for Bisu casts. Bisu PVZ. And we haven't been seeing much of him lately. So I saw this one and I knew I had to cast this. We got Bisu down here in the bottom right, EffOrt in the bottom left. And guys, for this cast, I noticed that the in-game sounds were a little bit lower, I think, than previous. And so I'm going to mix things up a bit. I'm going to try to just lower the Chinese voices here in this one. So I'm going to use AI to bring them to about 50% of the normal volume. Somewhere around there. Let me know how it sounds for you guys. I know I'm trying to make everybody happy, and I'm trying to make it the best that it possibly can be. And in the process of trying to make everyone happy, sometimes you make nobody happy. So I'm also trying not to do that. But I am trying to make it, again, as best as it can possibly be, depending on the situation. And I think this is the right time to give this a shot. So hopefully it works out well, and you guys can hear the in-game sounds, and the Chinese in the background is not too annoying, obtrusive, whatever you want to call it. Got EffOrt trying to throw down his hatchery, can't quite get it. Bisu gets that block off, and so he will be forced to take his third here on Radion. This is where we're starting out. So just to mention, guys, this was played on the 17th of December, so a very recent series. I hope you guys are all prepped and ready for Christmas, having a good holiday season so far. We're going to be finishing off the KCM here, Shun and I, very, very soon. I think they're trying to rush it out before Christmas, so we're going to be getting together and casting that right away for you guys. And I'll be putting out the best of 2025 on my channel here over the holidays, as well as I usually do right around that New Year's time, because that's what I'm going to be hanging out with my family here in Japan. You know, eating all the traditional foods and seeing all the relatives. And so I'll bring my computer along with me, and I probably won't do any casts, but I will make that 2025 video, and it should be a banger. There are so many great casts from this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw any Chinese casts in there, or any games from the Chinese series that we've had so far. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw those in there, but if you guys have any recommendations from my casting history, or if you guys think that any of the games today deserve to be on that list, let me know in the comments down below. It's like a little bit of a run by here. Gonna dive right on top of that probe, and he will get by as well. Oh, Lings get caught on each other. The three stooges there of Lings, not quite able to slip by that pylon. Pretty tight to that wall, so doesn't get as much damage with this as he could, but he will get one probe anyway. Another Ling goes down. Quite a few zealots from Bisu have arrived at that third base, so EffOrt's going to be in a bit of trouble. He actually didn't send these Lings right away. That's a problem. 3 zealots over here in a probe, dealing a lot of damage to this hatchery. And they're going to tuck themselves in behind the mineral patches now. Be a little bit annoying. Ling speed finishes up. But this is a very good trade for Bisu. If those Lings want to come forward and try to fight, that probe's going to help out quite a bit. Back at home, a full wall. And what will EffOrt do from here? He's not actually, doesn't have a lair. No lair at all. So he's got a Hydra den there in the main base. And he's going to have to defend with Hydras. No 4th hatchery, so is he actually going to try to come over here and bust? I'm not so sure. Just one drone over here at the 3rd. A little bit suspicious. Bisu might be wondering where the rest of the drones are at this point. Again, it's going to be such a horrible trade for EffOrt if he wants to come in and actually fight that. Okay, pops out one Hydra. And just going to use the Lings to block so the Hydra can eventually take out these Zealots. It's going to take a long time to kill 3 Zealots with 1 Hydra, but that will eventually take place. So the Zealots have to come out and fight. Forces the fight there. Clears out the Zealots, and we'll be able to begin saturating this base. Overlord at the natural. Going to be taken out by a Bisu, so probably won't be a Hydralisk bust. If the Overlord here dies, then just a single DT can actually throw a big wrench into everything. It can kind of screw everything up. So he might not be able to Hydralisk bust there. There's actually one Overlord at the front, but it's going to take a while for that Overlord to come forward as well. Let's see if he can get it into position. And whether EffOrt wants to keep making Hydralisk here. Another hatchery goes down. His 4th hatchery set up there at the 3rd base. Going after the gateway for now. Limit the production of these Zealots, but there is a 2nd gateway here in the natural, which can help out. As that first one goes down, there still will be that Zealot production to try and keep it alive. Keep Bisu alive, excuse me. Give him a bit of a front line that can block for these cannons. 4 cannons only. He sees more Hydralisk coming. May have to start a couple more cannons here. Doesn't quite have the Zealot production to just, once speed finishes, shove everything back. Extra hatchery there in the natural. EffOrt trying to transition with the layer on the way and the extra hatcheries. It's clear he's not going to Hydralisk bust anymore. And so Bisu, with that scout, knows he's not in too much danger. These Zealots should be able to hold the line. And since he threw down a Cyber Core in this wall, he can save his +1 armor upgrade. Should be finished up that +1 attack by now. And +1 armor can go unhindered. Spire in the main. That's been spotted as well. We may end up seeing EffOrt make a round of mutas just to snipe some High Templar, but Bisu sees everything. Can prepare for that accordingly. Let's see if he wants to deal with the threat of mutas with more Corsairs, or does he want to go into Dark Archon, or does he just want to ignore that threat and try to have one big push with a bunch of Dragoons and High Templar? Utilize preemptive storms and Dragoons to fight off the mutas. That can be a little bit risky if EffOrt manages to snipe all the High Templar and you lose the fight. The game can suddenly swing in into the Zerg's favor, so it's a bit dangerous. Let's see if Bisu wants to go for that Dark Archon. We've seen Best lately going for Dark Archon and just not even caring if it gets scouted. It's just such a strong unit, such a good unit. And that Maelstrom comes in clutch, even again in fights against Hydralisk and Lurkers in some cases, right? If Lurkers are unburrowed and trying to run up on your army, one quick Maelstrom can shut that down, and of course it becomes even more valuable as Defilers start to come out. You can use that feedback. So I think that we're seeing the rise of Dark Archon in this matchup. Slowly but surely, that is becoming a absolute necessity for these Protoss players, for these high-level Protoss players to take care of the potential for that Mutalisk switch. Bisu just about done with all his gateways, adding them on. Does manage to trap some Hydras here too. Oh, he's gonna go for a snipe. Can he get one of these High Templar? No, the High Templar live. Oh, that's huge. Keeping all the High Templar alive and killing off these Hydras at the front. Bisu's going to have a massive push here. This 2-base push going to be really hard to stop. There's the Mutalisk. And I don't see a Dark Archon anywhere. I don't see the potential for Maelstrom for Corsairs. So he's actually decided to go for Corsairs instead. So this makes sense. Where's that? Oh, okay. The High Templar just beside the cannon there. At the natural. Gonna go after some High Templar. Nope, not able to go after those just yet. Forced back here as Bisu starts to set out on the map. 3 High Templars in tow, 4 Corsairs in the air to try and help out against those mutas. He still may be able to dive in and just kill all the High Templar. That is a possibility. We may end up seeing EffOrt has a good number of Hydras. He kills the Observer as well, but I don't see any Lurkers just yet, so it's not going to become a huge factor here in this upcoming fight. Does get one of these Corsairs as well, just making that anti-air force so much weaker. But 40 supply advantage. Here he comes, diving on top of the High Templar. He gets one. Looks like he's going to get a second High Templar. Maybe? Okay. He actually gets all the High Templar. So no High Templar left over in this army is pretty rough. There's the Lurkers as well. So would be tough to push the issue here as Bisu. EffOrt lost all of his mutas. Will he make a second round in order to clean up the next group of High Templars that comes out here? Can be a really strong play. He may just want to go into pure Lurker, though. Just making a lot of Lurkers and stretching out into that top left. He's got the base up there. Will want to get some Hydras over there to make into Lurkers to defend that base. Bisu would love to see him break off a pair of a small group of Zealots to go and harass that base. But I think he's just finding out about it now. He just saw it with the Corsairs over in the top left-hand corner. And yes, indeed, he does break off about 5 Zealots to go and deal some damage to that hatchery. See if he can't get a quick pick on that base. Bisu has his 3rd base up and running now. Hasn't transferred too many workers over there just yet, but oh my god, what the heck? That storm on the left-hand side, absolutely brutal. Trying to push forward here. One observer kind of flying in a bit deep. GG, wow. Instant death there for EffOrt. That storm, absolutely brutal. Not a great start for him. We'll see if he can bring it back here in game number 2. Okay, just a warm-up game there. EffOrt, he's ready now. Needed to get those hands warmed up. Get his fingers moving. Of course, he's here in the bottom left. 500 ABM. I think he's warmed up now, guys. I think he's warmed up. Bisu did a great job in that last game. Maneuvering the series, maneuvering the position, and avoiding huge losses on the High Templar. Still, I would like to see him make Dark Archon. I think it's just such a good unit. And if you're not going to make, 7 Corsairs to try and chase down those mutas. I mean, even if you are, it's still hard to completely deny the mutas from getting kills on the High Templars. So Dark Archon is just such an underutilized unit. We'll see if Bisu wants to continue going with the style of just building a few Corsairs and preemptive storming. I mean, if it works, I guess. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked out in game number 1. He may want to stick with that style again. Just, there are some opportunities for sure for EffOrt to punish player, but you can't really do that against a player like Soma, for instance, right? Soma will just get in there. He'll just kill every High Templar, and then he'll remake mutas, and then he'll kill them all again. And then at that point, there'll be so many Hydras and no storms that you'll get completely overwhelmed. Let's see if EffOrt can have a bit of a better opener here. He's already got the Natural hatch down without being blocked. Went for like an 11 hatchery there. And now he's going to throw down the third without getting blocked as well. So he's taking the 6 o'clock here as his third. And Bisu can't really do much about it. He can't really slow him down here, which is looking good. Okay, he takes the gas before the third hatch. Oh, he better throw this down. You better throw this down now because the zealot is coming. Okay, he does throw it down. And will not be blocked. EffOrt. Just a few lings popping out here for now. Zealot, I believe, going to come down to 6 o'clock and scout that hatchery. I think it's gotten in there just yet. He's actually waiting for the lings to move out of the base. So he can try to come in the natural, get a kill on one of these drones, or at least force the drones off the mineral line. This is a nice little play here. Sneaky Zealot. Special Forces Zealot gets into that main base. He's going to get the full scout. And potentially kill a drone. Let's see if he can get any damage here. Definitely EffOrt should be able to dodge this, and he does pretty reasonably well. Still a mix-up in the mining, or at least a delay to the mining there in the main base. 2 lings will end up going down. Probably not more than that as the surround comes through. 2 more zealots making their way over towards the natural. Might actually want to put pressure on the third here. There's a good spot to hide behind the mineral patches at that third, so can just put on a little pressure and then back away behind the minerals once anything gets brought forward to deal with that from EffOrt. Put some damage on this hatchery so that the potential for a follow-up zealot attack is just that much scarier. So trying to get 2 lings to attack this. He finally gets 2 lings to attack that zealot, but still will trade for... Oh, just 2 lings actually. Not bad, not bad. EffOrt trading 2 lings for a zealot. Definitely worth. And so Bisu's initial harassment, not really getting that much. Kind of like this from EffOrt. 3 zealots down. Bare minimum number of lings produced, and no drones dead so far means EffOrt's feeling pretty reasonable about this situation. Reasonably comfortable anyway. Get into ling speed, get that spire going and all that. Prepare for next steps here in this game. Bisu has his Stargate. He's got a Corsair coming out here in a moment. Hidden Zealot over at that bottom right. Gonna try to sneak into the third base again. Looks like EffOrt spreading his lings appropriately, though. Does he see this? Oh, God, I don't think he saw it. That's a little bit of a shame. He really is attempting to find a Zealot on the map, right? Look at all the lings running around, spreading out everywhere. He just barely missed that Zealot, and probably will end up being forced to move his drones once again. Pretty annoying stuff as that Zealot comes in. He even sees the lings moving out because of the superior vision of the Zealot. He sees the lings and the lings don't see him. And so he's able to come in at that 6 o'clock. And this is, I mean, this is a total pet peeve of mine when it comes to playing Zerg. Oh my goodness. It's so frustrating when the Protoss player keeps hiding Zealots out on the map, and now he's going to come in here, push away these drones most likely. Okay, looks like he pushed the drones away momentarily, but then went behind or between the hatcheries here. Try and take the best trade possible. Nice round, actually. Only loses 1 or 2 lings. More Zealots coming out now. And wait, does he actually see this? Okay, he does see that. He does see that. That would have been really painful if those 3 Zealots had managed to slip by and the lings had crossed the map again. Hardly for almost unforgivable at that point. Like, you're gonna lose so much, and you really can't blame anybody except for yourself at that point. But here's Bisu in the third, trying to get on top of this Hydralisk. He will get on top of it, but nice drone drill. Really nice drone drill. A second very nice drone drill to keep that alive, but a TT slips into the main. Oh God, Bisu. right into the main with a DT. 3 kills. Gonna get a Hydra. 4 kills. 5 kills. 6 kills. Looks like he had a total of 7, but that was probably a Ling before. 6 drones. 6 drones is pretty brutal. Bisu getting everything he could want and more. Slowing down EffOrt before this mid-game comes into play. EffOrt really doesn't have an option. He's kind of got to just sit back here and re-drone. He's got to re-drone. Maybe try to get a 4th out a little bit quicker. Let's see, sending a bunch of drones here to the main. Gotta quickly jump up in drones. Oh, he's actually supply blocked as well. Oh god, it's so painful. EffOrt really hurting here. Look at him. Having, you know, 600-700 minerals with a full supply block. Can't really make anything. Can't make drones. Can't make hydras. Can't really do much of anything. And now the storms are done. This is about as bad as it gets. So EffOrt grabs his 4th base. It's, as I said, no real choice but to go into a macro game, drone up, try to take a 4th. Try to get it back in the late game. Maybe even have to go for a quicker hive here. But holding the 2-base push will be tough. It'll be very, very tough indeed. So maybe going into a quicker lurker. That might be the answer. Get into a very quick lurker, make a lot of sunken colonies, and bunker down while going into hive. I just feel like if he goes into 4 base and tries to make huge amounts of hydras and pop out mutas, like he's just not on curve. He's not on curve to make that happen and not on curve to make that work. And so reaching that critical mass of hydras, even if you're able to snipe high Templars, reaching the critical mass of hydras is going to be tough. He's made a lot of Scourge here. He's really trying to push away the Corsairs, and that's for a pretty clear reason here. He wants to utilize Mutas to try and come back in this game. Sniping down these Zealots as they try to harass is very good. He's trying not to build any sunken colonies. You can see no sunken colonies in these bases right now, which is a bit of a worry. Because mutas do not kill zealots that quickly. It takes quite a long time. So, yes, he's managed to zone the Corsairs, but there's about to be like 4 or 5 zealots running into the 3rd as soon as these mutas are revealed. There you go, 4 zealots running into the 3rd. Now, actually a little bit out of position. He wasn't able to initiate this immediately, and so actually EffOrt's able to come over here. I thought he would do both at the same time. Send 4 zealots to the 3rd and send the rest of the zealots over to the 4th at the same time. Force a difficult decision from EffOrt, but in the end, EffOrt kind of just stops the 4th from going down and then comes over and kills the zealots that were attacking the 3rd. So really not a bad hold there from EffOrt, and now he can come over and maybe go for some damage with these mutas, maybe try to get some probes, maybe go for some high Templar. Here we go, coming in again. Nice preemptive storm there. The preemptive storm earlier was very good as well. Ooh, gets us Corsair as well. The Scourge still very useful. If we can get rid of all the Corsairs, all the better. It'll allow him to potentially, yes, there we go, potentially get a whole bunch of more snipes on these high Templars as they come out. Oh, losing some Scourge here in the middle. Going into the main base, though, is very nice. He's going to kill a lot of probes right now. Hopefully, he's building a lot of sunken colonies back at home, because this army is just charging across the map. I don't see any sunkens. I don't see any emergency sunkens. Dude, EffOrt, I don't think he has any idea what's happening right now. I don't think he has any idea what's happening right now, because one sunken is being made. Bisu is coming. He's not turning around to go home and try to fight this. Scourge come flying in. He's going to get rid of the Corsairs here. Very nicely done. Getting rid of almost every Corsair. There's the last Corsair going down. Oh my god, Bisu turns around. Bisu's heading back home. He realizes that this Hydralisk counterattack could actually end him, so he turns around, runs back home. I'm really shocked about this. I thought that Bisu would go to the natural. Go to the natural, break through the natural, go up into the main base, and just kill all of the tech. But instead, he feels like he just has to defend. He has to prevent EffOrt from breaking his natural, and this just gives EffOrt so much leeway, man. It gives him so much room to maneuver. Really worried for Bisu right now as he comes across the map. Again, another counterattack, actually. EffOrt going to come directly towards the natural, looks like. Bisu beelining it for the natural of EffOrt, though. Yeah, I don't like the trade potential. Oh, wow. He builds Sunkens in the main. Okay, that's actually very smart. I like that from EffOrt. Building Sunkens in the main will make it very hard for Bisu to get up here. While this counterattack is going on, DTs keep popping out, but they are gunned down immediately. EffOrt on top of the base. Dude, I love this from EffOrt. They was making those sunken colonies in the main. When I saw him not making any sunken colonies in the natural, I was a little bit worried, but I'm really glad to see that he made these, because this is actually going to win him the game. This is going to win him the game right now. There's no way Bisu kills all the Sunkens and deals with all of the units that are popping out here as well, plus the mutas. Meanwhile, EffOrt is killing everything in the main base for Bisu. I think the turnaround from Bisu was the big mistake here. Going all the way back home instead of doing this move a little bit sooner has cost him everything in this game, I think. The main base is going down for EffOrt slowly but surely. That is being broken, but so much was spent to actually make that happen. And EffOrt is continuing to rally forward here. Wait a second, guys. Guys, here comes more Hydras. However, this base is going down. How many sunken colonies are at the third base right now? Because EffOrt must be making some defenses. That'll be his final stand. I believe that's where he's going to make that final stand against the last of the Protoss forces. There's really no mining here for Bisu, and he's killed all the pylons as well to make sure. Oh, he's actually not killed the pylons on these 4 gateways. So, oh gosh, the probes get on top of this. Actually, the Zealots could win this fight. Zealots could win this fight with the probes helping out. It's going to be close, but it looks like just barely the Hydras actually win. The Hydra's able to spread out and get their shots off. There's the sunken colonies on the high ground. Lots of lings there as well. Bisu's trying to kill the buildings of EffOrt, but he's still mining up here, and he can start to throw down, you know, hydrogen, build a spawning pool here and stuff like that. Just make a full wall. Yeah, absolutely. Make that full wall there. Sunken colonies are going to trade so well. As these dragons come up the ramp. Lings will have to come forward, but there it is. GG. EffOrt takes game number 2. Pretty intense there. Bit of a crazy base trade situation, but I think that EffOrt did a better job of it. In my experience, usually the Protoss just goes for the natural. Goes up onto the high ground. You can't clear anything there. And, you know, even if you break into the natural, even if you get on top of everything in the main, they just kill all your buildings so quickly that base trade generally doesn't go good for Zerg. Zerg kind of the weaker race when it comes to base trade. Weaker than Terran, weaker than Protoss, but EffOrt still makes it work here. Game number 2. All right, guys, we're hopping into game number 3. I've actually taken a long break between recording the first 2 games, and now it's currently Christmas here in Japan, so Merry Christmas, guys. I'm just celebrating by casting some games and also watching some of my old casts, the ones that I put into the folder for the best of 2025, catching up on those and seeing which ones I can eliminate, because I've got like 30 plus games in that folder, which is great, but is also going to be a ridiculously long video, so I'm trying to cut some of those out, cut it down a little bit. I went and added a lot more short games as well in that file. Some really spectacular cannon rushes and stuff like that. So it's not going to be so long. I think last year I did a lot of really long games. I ended up adding, so hopefully this time It'll be a little bit easier to cut down and not crazy. Like I don't want a 20-hour cast, right? I don't know if anybody wants that, but maybe there's some people out there who would be enjoying that, and I do know that some of you guys watch my cast as you're going to sleep, so maybe that would be a good sleep stream or something like that, a good sleep video to put on. I don't know, but anyway, we're here with EffOrt versus Bisu. We got Bisu blocking the natural of EffOrt, and here on Litmus, there's a lot of cheeky stuff you can do. So Bisu opening with a forge leaves him a little vulnerable, right? You could send, for example, a drone around to the top left, try to hop lings into the main. That's always an option. Or you could just try to play this out normally. It's not like it's a bad position if you are forced to throw your third or your natural at your third and take the natural a little bit later. As long as Bisu didn't get away with the Nexus first, which he didn't. He went for a forge. So, a bunch more links pop out here. EffOrt's actually going to try to run by. Yeah, this could be really scary. He's counting on Bisu being a little greedy right now. Seeing that there's only 4 lings, he's going to be really active with these 4 lings and keep trying to deny the probe. And he lets the probe slip by, but now he's going to pull everything together and he's going to go for the cannon. Can he actually get on top of this cannon and kill Bisu right here, right now? It's looking like a kill. If he just dives this cannon right now, he can go after the pylon, and there's not a lot that Bisu can do. He's going to pull some probes. He's going to try to fight this. One zealot pops out. He's going to combo the zealot with the probes, but man, this is super difficult to stop. And oh, he gets away from the surround there. That was really close to a perfect surround from EffOrt, but you know what? It's just not enough. And this is going to be a very quick game. GG will have to be called here. I don't think even the second zealot will pop. Nope. GG. EffOrt takes the lead in the series. Okay, we're hopping into game number 4. That was a quick one. It's best of 7. Sometimes they can kind of fly by, especially if you're playing against someone like Soma. Anytime I see a Soma series, I'm expecting a lot of fast games, especially against Protoss. But EffOrt, Bisu, it's really hard to tell how this one's gonna go. EffOrt getting that quick and easy win there with the ling pressure, ling all in. Not even truly an all in, but that definitely slows you down. If that gets nothing done, it's not like you're dead as EffOrt, but it really hurts you. It really hurts your economy. So it's kind of what Shun would call a semi all in. He uses that word, I think, a little bit too often, but I think that's a good descriptor for what it's like to build that many lings early game versus a Protoss player. It's like you're kind of putting yourself on. You have to get damage, or you're probably going to be dead. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Anyway, Bisu down here. Bottom left on Metropolis. He's going Gateway this time. Gonna start to put on that early pressure. I actually like it better when Bisu plays this style. Your Gateway first style. I like best when he does cannons first, when he goes for Forge first. I think he's a lot stronger that way. I like it leans into his strengths a lot more. Just getting out there, get the scouting information with the probe, make sure you got enough cannons, and get into that mid game as cleanly as possible. Whereas Bisu, just putting on the pressure right from the beginning, Mini too, right? Get over there with a really strong zealot probe micro, put the pressure on, and get the information that way. I think that's quite strong. And we're going to see Bisu turn the zealot around and head back home because of the very early pool. This is like an overpool build from EffOrt. He doesn't want to allow any of these lings inside his base. Definitely not. Probe zealot on the ramp. One zealot here by the pylon. Making sure that this can't really do too much. EffOrt checking all around the map for it. a secondary probe that's going to be scouting him. And look at this. The probe completely maneuvers around those Zerglings. He will find it now. But I think this probe should be able to get in. Actually, there's going to be one Ling on the ramp, it looks like. One Ling on the ramp is a little bit hard to block with. Let's see if he can slide in there. Still, okay, 2 more Lings come down. Total of 4 now blocking the ramp. So he's actually going to be safe. Back at home, Bisu starts a forge. He's going to have a cannon here in a moment. EffOrt could bring his Lings over. It looks like he's not, though. He's just going to let this go up. So yeah, there's not going to be anything too crazy at the beginning of this game. EffOrt getting his lair. Just a bit of back and forth. A little bit of footsies here in the early game. Posturing. And threatening to do something serious with these Lings. But it doesn't look like he's going to pull the trigger on building anymore. Or trying to like slip by. He could come over here and try to like hit the gateway with a bunch of Lings. Try to force the Zealots out and try to slip around. But I don't think that EffOrt's interested in doing that. He just wants to prevent scouting for the time being and make it a bit of a question mark here for Bisu, whether or not there might be a Hydralisk follow-up. Ooh, okay. Make some more Lings. He knows that there's a 5 Zealot timing coming soon. Right around that 5-minute mark. 5 Zealots. Pretty common. If he just shuts that down completely, if Bisu moves out with those 5 Zealots, and it gets utterly shut down, then it puts the Protoss player in a pretty uncomfortable position. Like, you're just not feeling very good if those first 5 Zealots get utterly smashed. So Bisu not pulling those out just yet. Okay, I think he sees all the remainder of the Lings actually following up behind this. So this is actually not that good for EffOrt. Now that he's revealed those, Bisu won't move out, and he'll just wait for his +1 to be done, making these Lings way less effective. Yeah, he actually needed a bit more than that. A little bit more Lings than that to crush the 5 Zealot move out. So I don't think he's really overmade Lings, but he hasn't been able to shut anything down with these. So you'd rather not make Lings if the Protoss player is not going to be aggressive anyway. Hydralisk Den and a Spire, taking a page out of Soma's book. I assumed when we saw how well Soma was doing and how consistently he was beating players like Snow with the cross tech, putting down Hydra Den and Spire, I figured that a lot of Zergs would start to copy that style. Eventually the other Zergs would pick it up and just start using it. It's just too strong. It's too good. Definitely it requires a very high level of mechanics and optimization to pull off, but I think a lot of these Zerg players can make it work. Just need to practice it a little bit so that they can hit that timing right. Pushing away the Corsairs with Scourge and then suddenly coming out with a Hydralisk bust. Bisu actually going to push forward with a lot of Zealots though now. Kind of an off timing here to really put the hurt onto EffOrt. Coming in before anything like Zealot speed. I don't think +1 is done either. But he wants to get in here and force a response. At least see what's coming. And he's going to see the Hydralisk here in the natural. So big scout here from Bisu. Gonna see everything. He could start a bunch of cannons back at home. He is going to kill a Hydra or 2 as well. All the Lings go down. And he can see there's no additional hatcheries back at home. So EffOrt probably transition out of this. Like he's not going to hit this pre-storm Hydra bust that I was just talking about. The Soma special. He's probably not going to be able to hit that and be effective with it. He's going to have to transition. Maybe he can kill the wall. Maybe he can kill a couple of cannons here, but Bisu's definitely responding correctly by adding on enough cannons to make sure that he's safe. So EffOrt adding on some hatches. He's at least added a hatch to the 3rd base. He should be adding another one here to the natural soon. Bisu making sure he can come out and get some information. Not enough Scourge actually from EffOrt to deal with these Corsairs. There's only like 4 or 5 Corsairs. A little bit surprising that he's not built enough Scourge to shut that down completely. And he's actually lost some Overlords as well. More Hydras popping out here, and he sees no additional hatchery at the natural. So another Overlord goes down. He's still supply block. This is brutal, actually. This is really bad for EffOrt now. He's trying to break in here a little bit, and there's no Storm yet. But this is not good for EffOrt. This is really not good for EffOrt because he's not upping his production right now. He's not getting that those extra hatcheries online quick enough. Whereas Bisu's going to be adding gateways behind this. Even though he's being forced to make a lot of cannons here at the front. Bisu is slowing down EffOrt with the Overlord kills. And he's making the correct amount of cannons. He even cancels some of them, realizing that this is not going to continue. And that this is not going to be completely all in. And in fact, as soon as the storm is done, you can kind of cancel some of these cannons as well. And so he now has Storm ready. We're at 9:30 30. Storm is definitely finished. Big gateway explosion in the main. And EffOrt just, I don't think he's got the macro engine behind this to keep up. We'll see. We'll see if he's able to somehow pull it together, but he's going to be losing more Overlords. Scourge here. Not in quite enough high enough number, but there you go. He does get one hit. Does manage to get rid of one Corsair. And will save the rest of his Overlords. Has Overlord speed too, which is very important. Can kind of pull these Overlords away from the Corsairs now. Try to keep them alive and sweep the map of DTs and the like. Dive in here again. Not able to get the kills. Oh my gosh. None of the Scourge actually connect. So EffOrt will be driven back again. Stuck on 62 supply. And a naked High Templar move out. He's just going to move forward with a few High Templars trailing. Drop into the main base? Oh boy. This is crazy, guys. Are there any Sunkens back at home to help EffOrt hold? That is not... I mean, this is going to be brutal when these High Templars and Zealots arrive. Wait a second. Actually, he's turning around and heading back home with all the Zealots and High Templar. Actually, where are those High Templar going? Are they going all the way to top right? That's crazy. Building some lurker eggs to try and block stuff out. He's going after the the Templar Archives. He gets the Templar Archives. He might get the Forge as well. Oh my gosh, denies the upgrade as well. This is a pretty sick drop, and it's getting quite a bit of damage. He's going to drop some lurkers here at the natural as well. Forcing away the probes. There's nowhere for these probes to go at the moment. Only one kill on that lurker, though, unfortunately. Hardly getting any damage. You can't get another lurker forward at the moment. Over to this mineral line in the main. Another drop potentially coming over this direction. No observer here for the time being. Zealots are making their way over towards the center right. EffOrt hopefully has something over there to deal with this. Otherwise, he's going to lose quite a few drones. Oh my gosh, he's making full round of drones at this moment. And really doesn't have anything to defend there. Just 3 Hydras not going to be enough. Very good drone pull to keep himself alive there. And some reinforcements do arrive. This is a crazy game right now. A lot of back and forth here. As another drop comes into the main, that's not going to be successful, though the lurkers spread out. They're going to try to do what damage they can, but of course Storm going to shut that down very quickly. EffOrt tried his heart out here to get all kinds of damage. Oh, here we go. Bisu not reacting at the natural. He's going to lose a bunch of probes. Lurker at the main. Oh, man. So much damage could be done. So much damage. Oh, no target there on the probe transfer. Instead, targeting a probe behind the mineral patches. Turn around. 9 kills. 9 kills on this lurker. It's like the lurker in the natural has been cleared, but this is some really good damage now from EffOrt, actually finding some of that damage. And Bisu is planning to do a counterattack right now. Another drop into the main. He's trying to get this damage going, trying to continue it. But Bisu is starting to clear everything up, and this pressure is coming in now. Is there anything here at the natural? One lurker. He's got to burrow that lurker. He's actually taking a bunch of damage on it, so a storm will actually clear a lot of this. Great storm hitting 2 lurkers, but more lurkers are coming up from behind, and I don't see an observer. No observer here to try and help out, so he will be holding on for the time being. EffOrt by the skin of his teeth, preventing this bust from happening. If there was just a couple of observers here, it would have been so hard to stop this, but lurkers are really coming in clutch. Observer coming up onto the high ground. Dragoon's trying to run up here, but here comes the Hydras, and with 2 lurkers, he will actually prevent the damage. Zealots at the natural. Zealots trying to get in there, but they actually turn around and run back. Bisu non-committal on either of those attacks. Catches some lurkers morphing over here at the third base as well. Bisu kind of needs to go ahead and get a third now. He's running out of minerals. He's been sitting here on 2 bases for a long time, and so he's got to get down here and at least start to get this online. Try to get this online now. The window has passed for him to bust EffOrt, I think, on 3 base. Time to get that third up and continue to prevent a 4th from EffOrt. EffOrt going to come over, though. Hasn't sent a drone anywhere just yet. I think that might be a drone top right. I'm not sure about it. But EffOrt hasn't taken a 4th base just yet. He's going to be intent on shutting down the 3rd attempts of Bisu. Bisu can also take center left if he wants to. He can move over to that direction. It's a little bit harder to counterattack for EffOrt. It's pretty far away. And so might be a better option here for Bisu. Okay, both players going to take their own respective bases. So Bisu going up to 3, EffOrt going up to 4. It's a little bit more dire here for Bisu. If Bisu loses that 3rd nexus to a counterattack, things can fall apart very quickly because he is going to run out of money here really soon. Whereas EffOrt, he could potentially lose that 4th as long as he trades for a base. He's going to be fine. The 3-base economy of the Zerg will last a lot longer because the mining speed is much slower for the Zerg player. Another lurker drop over here towards this natural. Is trying to shoot down from the high ground here to hit the probes, but can't quite do it. Lurker tries to get by into the main base as well. Absolutely relentless at trying to get this damage is EffOrt. We saw this from him in the ASL as well. I remember his game in the ASL. I believe it was versus Snow on Screaming Sea, when he did such a good job of pulling Snow apart with just endless drops hitting him everywhere at the same time. But EffOrt can't quite do the same here to Bisu. Bisu just too on top of things. He's been pulling his probes properly. He's been defending perfectly, and now he's going to get this 3rd base online, I think, without a doubt. EffOrt loading up another drop, man. He is so relentless. It's very hard to pull off Zerg drops like this and make them efficient. Usually you're just going to get stormed as the drops are coming in, or get caught like this with the Corsairs. Like, it's so common to take a bad trade with the Zerg drops, but EffOrt is continuing to go for it, and he's got a pretty hefty supply. I don't see a transition from him into a hive play anytime soon, so he has to keep the Protoss player on 3 bases. He can't allow Protoss to take bottom center. That'll be what Bisu's gunning for, either a counter or another base. Lurker's running right up on top of this, but they're so stacked. What is this? EffOrt running into the armies, trying to flank from all sides and hit from a bunch of different directions to wipe this out, but the storms are so good, and the lurkers there just got decimated. Pretty good follow-up here with a big spread of Hydras, and he's actually cleaving through a lot of these Dragoons. There's only 3 left, which is decent. Like, he's actually killed the majority of this army. The backbone of the army is gone. can. The Zealots are not going to do that well now against the Hydras when they can just morph into Lurkers. And he should have enough defense back here in his wall to be able to hold everything. So he's managed to survive. Bisu's holding on. Excuse me, EffOrt is holding on. Bisu is trying to press the issue, but EffOrt is holding the line. The problem is he's losing so many overlords down at bottom center. We didn't catch it on screen, but I saw like 5-6 overlords just died down at bottom center. Brutal damage. Bisu pushing forward even further now. And he's actually at the wall. So these storms over the wall are going to be nasty. 2 storms, pretty good dodges, counterattack. Uh-oh, EffOrt getting on top of this base. Dealing with the cannons right now. These 3 Hydras should be able to kill that last cannon, but they won't kill the Nexus. That's not going to happen. So the Nexus will live. The cannons dying is not that big of a deal if the Nexus stays alive. EffOrt holds the natural, pushes Bisu back again. This is an incredible game. Really. Bisu is out of money in the main and natural. His third is all he has money. He's got to secure a 4th base here soon, and EffOrt is hanging in there. Just barely, but he is indeed hanging in. Oh my gosh, he's not mining fully in top right. That's crazy. Not really mining on all these, with all these drones. So he's just going to get them back to mining now. There's no Nidus here, of course. He's got to get on the ramp. He's got to get an egg. Oh my gosh, the egg. Egg! He can't make it. He can't make an egg. He's supply blocked. Oh, his supply blocked. The supply block is huge. Counterattack is going to go down. EffOrt just going for it here for center left. That's the only mining base for Bisu. So if he gets on top of it and kills it, it's going to be huge. Zealot there. Probe's going to be pulled to the ramp. Lurkers here are going to just rip these probes apart. So he should be able to get on top of this base. I think he's going to be able to shut down this base. He's going to get Lurkers over here to the other ramp. There are some overlords coming as well, so he can shut down the observers. He kills the observer. He kills the observer. He can't push into this, but not without an observer. And yeah, Nexus is actually going to fall. He can dive forward here, try to kill some of the high tempo. 2 more observers coming up. 2 more observers. Can he target them down? He's going to go for it. He's going to go for the observers. No, he's just diving on top of the Dragoons, killing a lot of them. And he should be able to get the Nexus behind this. Lurker's got to push forward, though. Lurker's got to be brought to bear here and be part of this fight. If he wants to win, he's actually going to shut this down. Probes get pulled. I think he's going to go and take a Nexus in top left. This is a crazy, insane game. Some High Templar come up from behind this army. The Overlords are all dead now, so it's possible he can bring forward some DTs, but I don't know if he's got the money for it. No money really here for EffOrt. He's about to mine out of his main and natural. It's so close now to a mine out. Probes can be brought back. The Nexus lives, but the mining from Bisu was severely interrupted. He wasn't mining for minutes there. And so EffOrt's been building up a fresh army, whereas Bisu's just been spending his bank. He's got none left. Little trickle of minerals coming in right now. Is it going to be enough to stomp down EffOrt? Will EffOrt even try to take another base? I don't know. It looks like he's just going to push. Looks like he's just going to push and try to overwhelm the army. He's got a lot here. There's a pretty good storm in the middle of all these Hydras. Some mutas get made as well. They're so good in these scrappy situations. It seems like they're not even necessary. Too many Hydras, too many Lurkers pushing forward here, and it looks like EffOrt gonna overwhelm. Unreal. Bisu has to tap out of this game. All right, boys, continuing on with this series. It's just started snowing super hard outside my house. It's really a white Christmas here in Shiga Prefecture, Japan. We got Bisu in the center right. We got EffOrt down here in bottom left on Dominator. Pretty fun map for PvZ. We've had some really good games here, especially from Best, honestly. Best has brought some of the best games in PvZ this season on this map. I'm thinking back, what's the most memorable game on this map? I think it's Best versus Queen from this last ASL. That was such a fun match. I remember both myself and Shun just agape at that comeback. What an amazing season. What a fantastic season. A fantastic year of StarCraft Broodwar all around. As I mentioned, I'm preparing for the best of 2025. So many great games I've been going through. And just a lot of great memories. A lot of great times with you guys out there. I think I've already said this, but I hope you're having a great holiday season. And everything's going well for you. Santa brought you everything that you could ask for, everything you wanted. We've got a Forge Fast Expand here for Bisu. Going to be dropping that cannon after scouting the main. He sees the timing on the pool. Everything all good here. Nothing out of the ordinary, just the pylon block. Pretty straightforward. Won't really cause a big upset here or a big diversion to EffOrt. Force him to really do anything out of the ordinary. Just grabs his gas right after popping these lings. So his gas timing is going to be pretty quick. Means that his Spire timing will be on point for denying too much damage coming out of these Corsairs when they finally do come out on the map, start to seize that air control. We'll see if EffOrt wants to cross-tech in this game, try to get a little bit of a quick kill. We've seen him able to do pretty well with a bit of a Ling pressure. Ling all in. Bisu not perfect in his defense early game, but nobody is. In this matchup, things can go awry so quickly and fall apart in such a dramatic fashion for the Protoss and for the Zerg as well, right? You lose a couple of drones in the early game. You make a couple of small mistakes. Maybe you place a building incorrectly. Maybe you don't have your units in the wall in time. Suddenly Zealots are on top of everything, killing everything, and there's really no way to recover. So it's a very difficult thing to play perfectly in the early game, but Bisu's done a great job of keeping this probe alive at the very least, out in front of the natural, just continuously moving here, continuously avoiding these probes, probably alt-tabbing and checking on a yoga streamer at the same time, as you do when you're as fast as Bisu. 490 APM here as he sends his first Zealot across the map. And he'll be sneaking in over at this third base. Seems like Lings are all in position, though. Can he pull this one Ling? Oh! Unfortunate there. Wasn't able to pull the Ling out. And avoid losing that one. Looks like he'll end up losing 3 total Lings to this first Zealot, which is a bit painful, but now Ling speed is done, and there's enough to start tracking these down. Actually, I think he's going to find this. He does find the second Zealot, so that's actually quite big. Finding the second Zealot here, making sure that that's not going to slide in at an inconvenient time for him. Makes this next stage a little bit more stress-free. Overlords are pulling back, and the Spire should be finishing up any moment here as his first Corsair pops out. Map is a bit dark right now for Bisu. He's not sure what exactly is going on the map. He is in a bit of a gray zone here. Is it time to build cannons or not? Sending the Corsair across the map will confirm. No cannons yet necessary. No Hydra Den in that main base for EffOrt, so as long as he keeps this Corsair alive, he should be doing all right. Checks the natural. He's not actually going to look at the gas here at the natural. There's going to be some Scourge popping out here in a second. Can he get the Overlord? Ooh, okay. Scourge pop out. I think these Scourge to the south might actually be on intercept course. Can he get the intercept on that Corsair? Oh my gosh, Bisu renowned for his incredible Corsair micro, but having a hard time avoiding These Scourge doing that tiny bit of extra damage on the Overlord was definitely not worth it here. He's almost definitely going to lose this now. And at least he checks the third base. He sees there's no third gas at the bare minimum. But it's not a good position if you end up losing this Corsair. In fact, he's just going to bring the Mutas over now. I'm going to waste a Scourge to kill that. Actually, it turns around and runs away, so he is going to keep chasing that with the Scourge. Muta's coming into the main now. Going to go after this Cannon. Cannon is going to go down very quickly here. Scourge getting a couple of good hits. Picks off one of those Scourge. The other two will drive the Mutas out of the main. So with a third Cannon coming up here, I think Bisu is safe. Even adding like a fourth cannon? Is that what... another cannon coming up in the main? That's maybe overkill, but... really doesn't want to get broken here in the main, that's for sure. Sees there's no third gas. I think he's going to cancel. Yeah, he cancels one of the cannons there. Definitely a prudent choice from Bisu. Like, you don't need that many cannons if they're not fully committed to Mutalisk Scourge bust in the main base. A lot of Lings coming here. He's gonna dive the natural. Oh my gosh. Straight onto the natural. Scourge are not moving, guys. The Scourge are not attacking. That's crazy. Send the Scourge in. EffOrt making a huge mistake here. The Scourge should have been on top of those Corsairs a long time ago, but they just weren't. Lings here have all but died, and the Corsairs retreat to those cannons. Natural is in danger of busting, but you know what? Bisu's going to have a good round of Zealots coming out here in just a moment. He's got a few gateways back at home. No, he's actually got only 2 gateways here, so maybe just the pure Ling rally can win? I'm not sure, but it's a dangerous position right now for Bisu. He's going to come forward with the Corsairs. A DT pops out. That DT may be the difference maker here. One DT can actually stop all of this. There's no Overlord in sight. No Overlord speed. Double Hydroden as a follow-up is huge. Double Hydroden is crazy. He's just going to go ahead and try to bust here. He's dealt with a bunch of the cannons. There's going to be hardly any cannons as this Hydralisk bust comes in. EffOrt, will he pick up on that DT that's moving over to his third base? He gets one of the DTs. Oh my goodness, he kills the DT. That's crazy. Diving on top of the High Templar, but the High Templar make an Archon there, and then now there's no way to defend the Overlord right in front of the natural either. If he loses all the Overlords here in front of the natural, he's not going to be able to bust for sure. There's no way to bust unless he has Overlord speed about to finish. That's the only chance here for EffOrt. Not many cannons. No Storm here just yet. But EffOrt, I don't think he can make this happen. I think he got supply blocked at kind of a rough moment. Wasn't really able to keep these Hydras pumping. He is going to go for it, though. He's going to try and dive in here. There's a few units out at the front. There's no High Templar behind, and there's almost no cannons. Just 2 cannons there is not going to be enough. A third cannon is on the way. Overlord speed is done. Overlord speed is done. He's going in. EffOrt with this crazy tech switch, he sees it. He sees the double Hydroden. He's going to build a bunch of cannons here. Can he actually hold? Bisu in panic mode, building as much as he can all at once. He's going to have to pull the probes for sure. Pretty good splits here. Going to have to target down that Archon. Archon getting low, but it's not been killed. It's tanked a lot of damage and bought a lot of time here for these cannons to start finishing up. Diving forward now, dumping right on top of that cannon at the bottom side. Second cannon going to go down so fast. Third cannon under threat now. 1 High Templar here. 1 High Templar with no Storm just yet. He just cannot get the Storm that can save him. Archon taking a lot of damage. Probes being pulled. More cannons finishing up. There's 2 cannons at the back line. There's not that many Hydras here. Some Overlords are dying. He's not supply blocked just yet, but EffOrt is losing a lot back at home. He's losing a lot of those Overlords. He could become supply blocked here in a moment. Not much production behind this. He dives on the High Templar, runs back through the Storm. No real choice about that. He had to get that Templar if he wanted to break this. Oh my gosh. Hydra's back at home. EffOrt not quite able to pull it together here. as the DT ravages the third mineral line and overlords are all going down. It looks like Bisu's going to take this one home. This was a crazy play by EffOrt. It was insane to go for this bust. How many lings and mutas he made. Such a shame that he didn't bring the Scourge forward initially with the initial attack to just drive back the Corsairs so the mutas could deal more damage. Had he brought those Scourge forward, the Corsairs would have had to abandon the defense, or they would have died to, or at least 2 or 3 of them would have died to those Scourge. So had that happened, mutas could have possibly broken this natural. At least killed more cannons so that the lings could take a bit better of a trade. But in the end, Bisu has held on. He's doubled the supply of EffOrt. And he's in this mode where he's just flying around looking for any mistakes. He knows that he's basically got this in the bag as long as he plays correctly, and EffOrt has to play perfect and hope for a mistake from Bisu if he wants to try and come back in this game. He may be making lurkers right now, a lurker upgrade. That is one way that you can kind of hang on and give yourself a chance as the Zerg player. Just build lurkers immediately. If Bisu, you know, slacks on making observers, or if he pushes incorrectly, maybe you can snipe the observer and buy yourself some more time. That can allow you to get out another round of drones, right? Like if you have to hold off the incoming attack, the next attack from Bisu with pure Hydralis, you basically have to start producing Hydras now, and you can't stop until he attacks. Otherwise, you just won't have enough. And even then, it's going to be hard. But if you make some lurkers now, if you make like, he's got 1,000 gas. If he makes 10 lurkers right now, and then all drones, okay, he's not even going to try it. GG, he sees the third base is coming up. He can't prevent it. He was hoping for a mistake from Bisu, but it's not going to happen. And so EffOrt taps out Bisu. Starting to bring it back here. All right, guys, EffOrt tried it there in that last game. Gave it his best shot at cross deck with the double Hydralis Den. Pretty slick stuff, pretty sneaky stuff. Didn't end up working out for him. But that's definitely off of center. All right, I've called this before as a caster and said, you know, that hatchery, that Nexus or whatever looks off center. I think we've all done it as casters, but that is 100% off center. There is no way that that is in the middle. You can see the little doodads there on the ground. Right here at the natural and right at the third. See that little thing right below the Overlord? Definitely it's supposed to be at the bottom corner of the hatchery. And it is absolutely not. I don't know what's going on with EffOrt, but for sure, he messed that up. I think it was a bit of a panic. He wanted to just throw down his hatchery at the third without being harassed. Like he would have sent it to the natural. And if he had sent it to the natural, actually, he wouldn't have been harassed, ironically. But now he's having a hard time putting down his natural. This is some good micro here from Bisu. He's gonna go ahead and block that. It's pretty annoying. Just gonna make a gas EffOrt is, and probably, you know, 4 lings just to get rid of this as quickly as possible. Pretty annoying. Pretty annoying start here from EffOrt. We might see him Hydra bust this game, because when this many things are going bad for you, it's hard to try to play out a normal game. Like, it's just mentally, it is very difficult. You might just want to do a Ling bust or a Hydralis bust. Either way, I support EffOrt in his decision, because this situation sucks. And I mean, you don't want to lose momentum in this series, but that's probably what's going to end up happening here. Let's see if Bisu can defend properly, get himself into a good spot. He might be able to bring this back. Oh, okay, Ling run by your... Just 2 lings die. 3 make it into the main base. Nice job. 3 lings in the main is pretty good. 2 probes, maybe? Oh my gosh, what a What a probe pull. That was beautiful. Absolutely shuts down those lings from EffOrt. Kind of his bad, though, for letting the lings go in like that. Like, he killed one probe, but if you just keep running around, you can at least try to prevent the gas here in the main. And the thing about running around in the main as well is that Bisu will have to have one zealot chasing the entire time. And that means that that zealot will not be out on the map harassing you. Now, with the lings dead, these two zealots come directly across the map, and EffOrt will have to make about 10 lings to stop this. Like, he doesn't really have a choice. And so, indirect damage has been done to EffOrt just by him kind of picking off those links with the probes there initially. Yeah, you can see this definitely off center. Those drones at the bottom are mining suboptimally right now. The zealots actually went back home. Still forced the lings though, so that's fine. Bringing the zealots back home is actually better because he is going for a very fast DT play. Interesting. I actually really like the fast DT play recently because of the cross-stacking meta. Getting their very quick DT out is a reliable source of scouting when the opponent has the early Scourge to deny the Corsairs and has the Ling speed to deny the Probe or Zealot coming out. You're able to get the DT out on the map and confirm, are you going for a Hydra Den or not? Are you going for a Hydra Bust or not? The Hydra Den doesn't necessarily mean Hydra Bust. You have to confirm. See, he comes in here, he sees that, right? This is a Soma build. This is what Soma does so well. He's going to throw down extra hatches. He's going to make it look like he's not going for a Hydra Bust. He's, I've just got the Hydra Den early here. It could be a Hydra Bust. Better build some cannons. And Bisu has to make a choice. Do I build cannons or do I not? Because he's not going to be able to scout with these Corsairs forced back by the Scourge. But this DT, this little Kate boy, gonna get all the scouting confirmation that he needs. I think this is actually the answer. This is the answer for Protoss players who are struggling against Soma's style of play. Early DT seems to solve everything. Just head over here to the natural, stay just outside of range of the Overlords, and see how many Hydras are popping out. Like, he can try to poke in here. I'd probably prefer that he doesn't. Just because if you lose the DT, then you lose that scouting information. It's more valuable just so that you don't have to build extra cannons. If he just sits here and sees that there are no Hydras popping, no Hydras coming out of the natural, then he can just build only gateways back at home, skip all the cannons, and put himself into a pretty good spot. Bisu coming out and getting rid of some of these Scourge as well. Has a few extra gateways coming up now. Zealot speed about to finish, +1. Gonna be done here soon. And High Templars with Storm just about ready in case there were some Hydras coming over here. Very nice kill there on the Scourge once again. Keeping this Corsair count very high. Looks like he might lose one. Ooh, the Scourge there glitching out, not making the connection on that one Corsair. And so the number here is getting a little scary. Okay, he sees the Hydra move out with the DT. Can add more cannons if necessary. I don't know if it's necessary though now. He should be able to make enough Zealots at this point with those two High Templar to just kind of hold on with those storms. DT just going to run away here, try to stay alive, try to stay a nuisance. Quite a few Zealots slip out on the side. EffOrt has no idea that those are in play, so he's gonna have to react when the Zealots arrive. Fourth base coming up for EffOrt. Gonna play a more defensive game here rather than trying to get offensive and actually break that wall. EffOrt is focusing on his economy and making sure that he's safe back at home. Looks like he'll lose an Overlord, but it's not going to be such a huge problem. Problem is that Bisu saw that base, and now he knows there's no pressure coming his way. He can kind of split up Zealots, try to deal some damage, and also get this third base up at the same time. Lings run by, and he's going to try to block the third for as long as possible. DT there going to deny that effort at the very least. Sunken Colony down here, but the Hydras are out of position. Hydras are out of position, and so he could go after the hatchery. Whoa, gas. He's going after the gas. Not what I was expecting there. He's going to kill the gas and run away. I guess that's all right. You really do need that third gas here as EffOrt. Not having the third gas is a bit of a problem. Definitely want to get that online sooner rather than later. Let's see. I don't see lurkers. I don't see a group of mutas just yet. There it is. Lurkers get made. He had like 1,300 gas in the bank. I was curious as to where that was going to end up going, but there it is. Lots of lurkers get made. And the Zealots are moving once again over towards this bottom center. Can he get another little snipe here? Maybe on some drones, maybe on the gas again? Gonna try to dive in right now. Lurkers burrow. That's not a good place to be, so he's just gonna run away from that. This could be a long game, boys. We actually might get a long game between these two after a couple of very short ones. This next game shaping up to be pretty solid. Game number 6. Bisu needs to get this win if he wants to stay in this series. Give himself a chance of taking home this prize. And so he's going to back away with this third base coming up. I think we'll likely see him reach out to take a fourth base very soon after. Try to get that third gas online sooner rather than later. Extra hatcheries coming up. Definitely necessary with how much income EffOrt is bringing in right now. Lurkers up on the high ground. This is the hard part of defending on this map, is there's a lot of different ways to attack Zerg in this position. You can try to get up on the high ground. It's probably the most direct route. Get onto the high ground at the third. You can try to push across the bridges and go directly into the natural. You can come down on the right-hand side and try to hit the bottom center. From the high ground there, go down the high ground over to that base. From the high ground, you can push through the middle, straight down towards 6 o'clock and hit either side. There's a lot of options here, and EffOrt kind of has to cover everything. He's got to be pretty on top of the unit movement, on top of the army movement here from Bisu, but behind this he should be getting into Hive. Nice snipe on the probe there, but Nexus is going to finish. This defensive position not looking that great right now. 6 o'clock seems bustable if Bisu wanted to give that a try. If he wanted to come along that right-hand side, as I said earlier, try to shove into that location. He's got a good number of Dragoons now. He's been gathering quite a bit of Storm. Gonna start to throw those down here. Okay, I don't know if that Storm actually hit anything. I think that was right in the dead center between the Lurkers there. This Storm doing a little bit better. Killing some of these Lurkers. Gonna make an Archon here and try to push forward a little bit more. Nice Storm there on the Lings. Only a couple of Storms left as the Lurkers get shuffled forward. There's a very good Storm. Okay, things are starting to get broken a little bit here, but it's not time to engage with the Zealots just yet. He needs to do a little bit more with the Dragoons and High Templar here. If he wants to break through this, he's got to kill just a couple more Lurkers. I don't think he's got another Storm. High Templars run forward and just get minced. Zealots are finally being sent in, but it might be too many Lurkers here left over at the end of the day. It seems like there's a bit too much splash. Where did the rest of these Zealots come from? The rally actually busting through this line. There's still another couple of Lurkers here, but 4 High Templars suddenly arrive, and they're going to throw down a bunch of storms on the reinforcing units. He's starting to break through here on the high ground. Corsairs come in at the perfect time, right as everything's becoming chaotic for EffOrt, where he's just not quite going to be able to hold. Then comes the kills on the Overlords. This is a really nice play from Bisu to just really drive the screw home, turning the screw here on EffOrt's defense and bashing through. He barely managed to survive. He barely manages to hold on. But again, he's losing a bunch of Overlords. He's lost some drones. He's no longer mining from that third base, or at least he wasn't. Defiler is done, but quite a lot of damage has been leveraged here by Bisu. Base over in the top left. Looks like it'll be denied. Just a few zealots going over there. Get that done. Not many drones here at all for EffOrt. Stuck on 88 supply. Again, half the supply of Bisu, who's transferring workers to that 4th base, adding on a 5th as well, getting monstrously big. Difficult to deal with at this point. Counterattack of Lings coming up to top center, but perfect. 1 DT here, a couple of zealots as well. This DT will deal with these Lings so darn quickly. And even with the target on the Nexus, looks like he won't be able to get him. Oh, what? Wow, we really needed to click on that. Come on, Woniu. That must have been so close. I'm talking like 10 HP on that Nexus, but it managed to live. Because when he clicked on it, it was like 30, so I must have been incredibly close there for a second. EffOrt almost gets the kill on that Nexus, but almost is not good enough, unfortunately. He's falling further and further behind, and he's just kind of sitting here on 5 bases trying to power, whereas Bisu is growing beyond that, getting bigger and bigger. Pretty soon he's going to be eclipsing EffOrt in every single way. Doesn't have Reaver Tech, doesn't have the latest of late game armies, but it's still good enough right now. It's got a lot of High Templars, quite a few Zealots. That's a great plague, but it's not quite gonna cut it here. He needs way more of these if he wants to win the next fight. He needs so much more damage on this army, so many more plagues on this army to make this work. Some of these plagued Dragoons are getting taken out, but overall, just big storms on a lot of these units. And more pushing here, more trading as EffOrt comes forward to try and get rid of some of these Dragoons. More storms coming down. Base in the bottom right for EffOrt is actually being established, and it doesn't look like that's going to get shut down too easily. There's going to be a Nidus over at that location soon, but this high ground looks breakable. It's so close. He might be able to get up here. Looks like a Zealot train making its way down to bottom right. Lurkers over here do quite a bit of damage. Nice move with the Zealots to get the full surround. This is not going to lose that too quickly, but that's way too many Lurkers. All right, you're not breaking that. I'm sorry, Bisu. Not going to happen. Bottom right is secure for now. Bisu taking over the center, though. Keeping control in this game. Is definitely in the driver's seat right now. EffOrt. It's going to take a while for him to close this game. If he ends up winning this, it's going to take some time. It's not going to be an easy process because he's not ready to try and slow down Bisu as he takes more bases. Like, he can send little Ling counterattacks and stuff, but he's not ready to take a full fight with the whole army and try to prevent a base from going up in the top left. Maybe going into quite a long game here, guys. As Bisu sets up that top left, he may be able to bunker down for a really long time and just keep EffOrt down with some of these storm drops. Here we go. Big storm drop Getting quite a few kills there. In the natural, looks like he'll get even more here in the main. That's a decent pull. Pretty good by EffOrt to at least avoid the bulk of the damage. There's another great storm, though. Oh my goodness. This slows down the Zerg player by a huge amount at a critical moment here as well. Like, Bisu is setting up additional bases. He's setting up that other quadrant. And EffOrt really can't do anything about it. He's got to spend like a whole minute here droning. He's also got to set up overlords everywhere. Like, we've got no overlords between the bottom center 6 o'clock and bottom right. There's nothing over there to scout. And so this drop is going to do a lot. Again, going to get tons of damage. These storms are great. Killing so many drones. And so add another minute onto how long it's going to take EffOrt to re-drone all of this stuff. Can't really get a counterattack going while making those re-droning efforts. So Bisu just going to hold over here at the top left. Keep the army back. Try not to eat too many big plagues. And he should be just fine. He should be all right here in this game. Should be able to keep growing and get into Reavers here momentarily. The Reaver is really the late game unit, the very latest of the late game unit for Protoss versus Zerg. Only thing that you can go beyond Reaver is probably just Mass Dark Archon. Mass Dark Archon is like ultra mega late game. You want to use those for feedbacks on, for instance, Queens and Defilers, but also for potentially mind control in this super ultra late game. If it comes to a mine out situation, that's when you can get really cost efficient as the Protoss player. But we're not quite there yet for now. Still little counterattacks are going to be heading over to the top left to try and shut that down. And meanwhile, Bisu trying to push in here to bottom center. He's made a little bit of progress in that regard, killing off some of these sunken colonies, but he's being sandbagged by a bunch of lurkers here that have been brought forward to try and save this, while EffOrt pushes up towards this top left. Again, another attempt here at bottom center. Storms on drones. Reaver has arrived as well. Reaver is here, and GG has to be called. EffOrt just can't break top left, and he can't save this base. Bisu has cracked him wide open, and he's brought this series to an even final game at 3-3. All right, guys, time for the final game of the night. Bisu spawning in top right, EffOrt bottom left. And here we are on Screaming Sea. EffOrt should be favored to win here. A lot of you guys are probably already counting out Bisu in this situation. Let me tell you, in this Chinese series, this Chinese show match series that we've lovingly called iCow in the past, it's the Beef Cup series, Cow Beer Cup, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of Protoss wins here, and especially with Cannon Rush. So we'll see if Bisu can pull something off. It's definitely not easy. Taking on a Zerg here. And so he'll have to get a little bit creative. I don't want to see him going for carrier anymore. As much as it was fun the first few times, I just don't think it's viable against these strong Protoss players. But here we go. He's taking the third right away. This is an opportunity right now for Bisu. He appears to be taking a Nexus first, though. So takes the Nexus first instead. Not really going to have an opportunity, therefore, to go for a Cannon Rush. It's just at that third base, there's a really good corner to Cannon Rush right over here. At the top right, those first 3 mineral patches, if you place a cannon at the top or place a pylon at the top and the bottom, you can make a perfect Cannon Rush spot. Very hard to get in there and deal with. We saw Soma really struggling against that. Instead, Bisu gonna opt for the Nexus first with a pylon block here at the natural. Being super annoying, but not making a lot of waves here for EffOrt. Oh, almost takes down this probe. Can he actually get it? He gets the moving shot. 2 HP. Oh, it's so close. Very nicely done there. EffOrt does take down that probe. And we'll be taking out this pylon here shortly as well. EffOrt got the gas. He's got some lings popping out here soon. You know what? He didn't make that many lings. He's only got the 2. So it's going to take some more time here. It's going to take quite a bit more time. And in fact, EffOrt, not even going to wait, opts to throw down the hatchery there, offset at the natural. So this is pretty annoying. This will probably lead EffOrt to make another hatchery pretty quickly over at that natural. Because he's not going to be able to mine properly, mine efficiently off of that at all. Here's the probe coming in for the confirmation scout. Like to get this in the main just to figure out if there's a layer or not. It doesn't look like that's going to occur. There is one cannon here. 4 lings are coming over towards the natural. Is he going to try to run by? He might be able to get 2 lings in if he were to go for a run by, but there's going to be a zealot in the top of that wall pretty soon. Yeah, there's the zealot now. So with the zealot in position, I don't think that's worth it anymore. But he's putting the lings over to the side there to maybe think about doing something with those in a little bit. Okay, ling speed is done. He's actually going to try to run by, but the zealots are ready for this. Oh, okay, he gets 2 lings in. There you go. Does manage to dive right in with the ling speed finishing up. We'll be able to slow down this gas mining just a bit. Hopefully he doesn't lose the 2 lings immediately again. Looks like he will avoid that for now. Just running these around is annoying. And like I said, it keeps the zealot busy anyway. So does have some merit. Ooh, lings being made. Uh-oh, I think we're going to see EffOrt try to break this cannon. He does throw down a 4th hatchery, but he's going for the cannon here. He's going to try to dive on that while Bisu's chasing in the main. But look at that. Perfect wall in. If Bisu doesn't move from this wall in, there's not really much EffOrt can do with all these lings. Now, he didn't super over make lings, but he did make quite a few, and it's pretty early to be making these as well. Bisu's not doing any sort of a move out just yet. Looks like 1 overlord gonna die. Over at center right, Corsair will then come through and confirm with the scout everything that's going on. There's the last ling going down over in that natural. Or inside that main, excuse me. That's been dealt with. EffOrt supply blocked for now. Does not have a spire done. In fact, just a Hydra den. So gonna have to defend the remainder of his overlords with just pure Hydras, and it's a long way over here to the nat, or over to here to the 3rd. So he's actually gonna lose another overlord. That's quite painful. There's another overlord over at top left. If EffOrt loses that as well, that'll be extremely painful. Not going to be happy about that. So EffOrt pooling all of his overlords here at the natural. Could pull back that overlord way over there at the top left, but will probably just hide it. Try to keep that hidden. Hope that that doesn't get scouted for now. Corsair's coming in. Gonna see the number of Hydras here. What's his follow-up play? Oh, he flies through. He doesn't even... That's not even a spire. We didn't even get a click on that. That's an Evo chamber. So the cannon in the main, unfortunate for Bisu, that's really not going to be necessary unless there's a drop play coming. That is also a possibility. Maybe we're going to see EffOrt go heavily into drops with no move into spire, which in that case, things start to make a little bit more sense. Diving onto the... overlords here, but a Corsair goes down. 1 Corsair for 2 overlords. Getting a little bit of damage here, a little bit of slowdown. Oh, that was big. That was like 3 overlords there. the tail end of that. So many of those must have been super low. So he actually deeply supply blocks EffOrt. Definitely he didn't have that many overlords on the way at that moment. So he's going to have to wait until that's done. Spire is on the way now, but it's way behind the curve here. It looks like possibly a sunken or a spore going to be placed down behind that mineral patch. Bisu already taking a third base and going into Reaver as well. So it's going to be a Reaver play from Bisu. Now, you can follow up that Reaver play with a bunch of gateways. Try to... Oh, this Reaver's coming in right now. Come on, get it on screen. Reaver, first shot, gets some drone kills for sure. Let me count that. 2, 3. Maybe drone kills there at the third. First Reaver drop is always the most important. Need to get some damage with that, and he got a little bit going. Can now retreat. Go ahead and defend that base back at home. That fresh base with a few cannons and a Reaver is almost unbreakable on that island. I think we're going to see EffOrt build a bunch of Scourge. Try to eliminate this air threat. And then maybe go for a drop somewhere. He could try to go for the main. He could try to go for the third. Probably not the natural. But he actually needs to make a move soon. And a fourth base wouldn't be too bad of an idea either. Reaver into the main. Ooh, what a hit there. 5 drones immediately. Oh my goodness. Where were all the units defending this here? Defending the main. Seems like a big hole in the defense here for EffOrt, and he's going to get badly punished. Can he actually catch the shuttle on the way out? This is a big moment. Can he get it? He will get it. He gets the shuttle, can turn the Hydralisk around and run away. Only one will end up dead, but this is a really nice catch to at least shut down the efforts of Bisu. Running behind these mineral patches. He's going to try to get back here into the mineral line, but that was a really nice pylon. Wow. The pylon placement there. Fantastic to just keep EffOrt out of the mineral line for a little bit longer. He doesn't have an observatory. Oh my god, no observatory, so no observers for quite some time. That is painful. Bisu barely going to be mining in this main for the time being. Gonna shoot his own zealot to try and kill that overlord. Looks like he does manage to get the kill there. He can shoot the pylon. He can shoot the pylon right now, and he should be able to kill that lurker as well. Let's see if he's gonna do it. Do it. Come on. Just shoot your pylon. Come on, the pylon's gonna die. Oh my gosh, okay. He's not gonna do it. I actually don't know if that works. I've only seen players do it with units, shooting their own units. But I assume it must work, right? That's gotta make that makes sense that would work. Looks like the lurker tried to run behind the mineral patches, but it got targeted by the Reavers. That's all been dealt with. Here comes a huge drop. Oh my goodness, that's so much stuff that's about to come in here and try to land in the main. Corsairs are out of position. They're actually down by the third base right now. So if he goes for this right now, there's a chance he can do massive damage in that main base. Reavers are out of position. There's only one cannon here. That's 6 overlords full. 6 overlords full. It could be 24 Hydralisks. 24 Hydralisks potentially in these drops. Probably some lurkers in there as well. Here comes the drop now. Gonna drop right on top of this. Immediately loses a lot of those Hydras just to the first couple of Reaver Scarabs, and this is not looking that good. It looks like most of this is gonna get cleaned up almost instantly, and I don't think there'll be any damage to buildings. Maybe damage, but definitely not any kills on these buildings, and potential for all the overlords to die as well. So he's gonna go ahead and target down as many of those as he can. 6 overlords dying is pretty rough. That's 600 minerals that he has to reproduce on top of all these hydras that he lost, and he didn't really get much out of this. EffOrt, all he did was just distract Bisu. And what did he do in the meantime? I guess he's taken center left, but he hasn't really gotten that online yet. Drop on this high ground. Is he going to kill the overlords before they even drop out anything? He gets a couple of the overlords, but a lot of this did get out of those drop ships. So EffOrt can burrow here on the high ground. He can at least prevent the mining for a short period of time. This is another annoyance for Bisu. He's not phased. Bisu instead going to counterattack. He's just coming across the map with a big round of Dragoons and a couple of Reavers in tow as well. Possibly up to 4 Reavers, I think, are prepared and ready for this next upcoming fight. Bisu gonna try to just shove it down. He's 40 supply in advantage. Here comes the double shuttle, potentially with those 4 Reavers in tow. Comes in at a bit of a dangerous angle, but turns away at the last second there. Not going to let EffOrt dive on this easily. EffOrt going to try to run up and kill some of these Reavers, but good juggling here is causing a lot of those shots to miss. 1 Reaver does go down, but 3 Reavers pushing the issue here. That's going to be tough to stop. And with just a few lurkers and not that many Hydras left back at home, I don't know if EffOrt can make this hold here. Lurkers try to run up, but they are devastatingly bad versus Reavers in a situation like this. Reavers are just going to rip them apart. You can see how quickly they absolutely mince these units, and so he's going to start to kill hatcheries there at the 3rd base. Bisu is pushing it down right now. Dragoon Reaver is such a strong combination in a situation like this where you've got some damage against the Zerg player. You've stopped the drop play and the counter harassment. This is so hard to deal with, and the Hydras are just melting on that front line. GG is called. Bisu takes it home, and he's going to take home the prize for this series. The best of 7 goes to this man, Bisu. He's let us down in the past here and there, but he really showed through today in this Chinese series. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the new year.